Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all my friends and my dearest lecturer. My name is Syazwana binti Muhammad ZAMANI and I'm from class ED2421A. Animals today are still playing an important role in the sport and entertainment industry. Cultural traditions such as folk hunting and bullfighting as well as horse and dog racing in the sporting world, not to mention animal performing tricks at circuses, uh, all example of how we take advantage of animals simply for our own entertainment. This can be seen on the video which going viral at the moment, which showing Will the lion that spent the last 13 years of his life in the Brazilian circus. And after being rescued, Will the lion finally fell and stepped the grass and died for the first time in 13 years. Although while animal circus ban do exist on a local level in Brazil, sadly many animals continue to be abused and exploited in this cruel attraction. Will was one of these animals, and the impact of living in a cramped, fatigued cage took a major toll on his well-being. Thankfully, after over a decade of suffering, Will was rescued by Renko Dog Nomos, which is a safe haven for domestic, wild, and exotic animals who have been abused and neglected. All forms of sports and entertainment that exploit non-human animals should be banned because animals also have feelings and can feel the same thing as us. Do you guys ever think on what happens if animals do the same thing as we did to them? It must be very painful and comfortable, right? So in order to do that, we need to ban the use of animals in sport and entertainment. Animals have been performing in circuses for years, and although it is banned in the UK for animals to be in the circus, but in other areas of the world, the use of wild animals like lion, tigers, and bears as entertainment is still widely happening. The main reason animal circuses were banned in the UK was how terrible are these animals being cared of and how terrible is the condition of these animals were kept in. As well, the method to teach these animals on how to perform tricks is very inhuman, which include electrical shocks and food deprivation. Imagine the feeling the animal have been derived from being treated that way. It's like their freedom is stripped in front of their eyes by performing for the hungry eyes of the human. Animals who are used in dog fighting and cockfighting are typically kept chained outdoor in horrific condition with a little or no shelter at all. They are starved, drugged, and beaten to make them aggressive. If they don't die in the fighting ring, the losers are killed by their trainers, often by being electrocuted, drowned, hanged, burned, or shot. Many others are abandoned to die slowly from their injuries. There is nothing remotely sporting about sports that involve unwilling participants. For the animals who are forced to participate in them, these activities are no game. These are all about survival. Even the winners emerge physically and emotionally scared, and the losers pay with their life. Imagine of how the animal feels. People are fascinated by animals. There is an undeniable thrill since animals in zoos, circuses, movies, television shows, and amusement parks. Unfortunately, using the animal for this purpose involves tremendous cruelty. Animals constructed into being entertaining lead life of misery and indignity. But there's solution on this matter that we can follow on. Firstly, what we can do is keep movies and television show features using live animals. We can use these advantages to the fullest since our globalization has become more toward futuristic style. We can use our current technology, which is virtual reality. What is virtual reality? Virtual reality is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment. Unlike traditional interface, VR place the user inside an experience. Instead of viewing a screen in front of them, users are immersed and able to interact with the 3D world. We can take this and apply on using VR to view animals than watching them in the circus. Like an example that we can take Petroscience in Malaysia that use VR experience that attract children and adults. At Petroscience, they project VR about dinosaur. That's a good idea actually, considering dinosaur is already extinct and we can see them no more. This idea can be applied and we can stop from using animals as entertainment. Next, what we can do is visit animal sanctuaries instead of zoos, marine parks, and circuses. By doing this, we can shut down the entirely business that take profit from cruelty to animals. The first thing we can do is boycotting them. It is as simple as that. Can we do that? We can set this as an example as the animal sanctuaries are more secure place for animals to live in, because some of the animal sanctuaries does not take any profit at all, and they are mainly funded by the NGO organization. This can create awareness among people that animals should not be used as human entertainment or sports. Like example that can be shown in Netflix show Tiger King Murder, Mayhem and Madness. In the show, it is shown that they are unrevealed how bad is the condition of zoo exotic zoos and how zoo exotic take profit from tigers and lion. That show can educate many people about animals that are used in entertainment or sports. Thus mentioning about the plan and solution, there will be also potential benefit that can be taken from this action. Firstly, in the action involving a VR experience, it can be carried on by targeting younger and teenagers that are in a learning phase, and that's actually the main point of this point. By doing so, we can prevent these problems early on, and as we all know that to talk back on adult is very difficult as adult have lived more longer and have more experience, but it will work out, trust me, but in a more slower pace. So we take this opportunity to teach our youngest one, because they are at the age where we still can shape it. That's using VR experience, also giving them a whole lot of year experience, since they're at the age that they like to be adventurous and learning. And this making that we can develop more high-tech technologies to give them a real experience by having to watch their favorite animal right in front of their eyes, but only using technologies and their senses. For the action involving visiting animal sanctuaries, it can be carried on like according to the plan and will work out fine. Because nowadays people like to speak right up in the early, and this making things so easy for us to boycott the whole act of using animal as entertainment. Our young adult can also be seen very invested on preventing this problem from going more troublesome and horrendous. It's truly awesome seeing all of the people that doesn't like using animal as human entertainment are boycotting and protesting. By this, we can stop on how further the animal entertainment are being used, and there are some of them are being tortured or abused. Therefore, by hearing about my speech on what animal entertainment or sport should be banned, I need all of your voice to go and register to your local community boycott or campaign that are boycotting this activity. So what are we waiting here for any longer? Start now and we can prevent this problem early on, and thus making this problem completely vanish, and we can free our animals. By voicing our voice together, it can be heard and we can stop these activities quickly so that all of these wild animals can get their freedom at the very least and doesn't suffer anymore for our own entertainment. All the least you can do is by joining my campaign so that we can feature this problem to more higher up authorities so that they can notice and take action.